Welcome to the stream, welcome to the channel, welcome to another video. Let's see, I still have kind of my awful sounding voice because I'm still getting over a cold, but we're going to go through this anyway, so let's go. We are working on our little Trans Am here, and as you can see, I got the body together, all the little bits and pieces put on. I got the front clip glued in, and I did manage to get the little wheel well flares put on, although it's hard to see. Black shirt, black car, they're on there. Okay, you can kind of, if I catch them in the right light, you can see the wheel flares sticking out the sides here and here, right? Especially right there. See that there? That's sticking out. That's one of the wheel well flares. Okay, on both sides. I did take a bunch of putty and I filled in some of the gaps. I did go around the wheel wells just to fill in a little bit of a gap because the contour of the flare didn't quite match the curve of the body. That's kind of typical. It's not a Tamiya kit, right? So you have to go with the flow on that kind of stuff. Anyway, biggest challenge I've had so far was I'm going to be painting this with Alclad II Chrome ALC 107. Okay, I've heard fantastic things about this stuff. I've seen fantastic results on other YouTube videos where guys are using this stuff. You can spray this straight out of the bottle and all that fun stuff. You don't have to mix it with anything at all. Straight up, this stuff is supposed to be fantastic. So, of course, my whole thing with this is I want to do like a candy blue, okay? Which is why I want to do the chrome. I want to lay the chrome down. It's not pure chrome. It's not going to look like, you know, chrome wheels or any crazy thing like this, right? It's not going to look like that, and I know that. But I want to get as highly polished silver, I guess you could say, as I possibly can before laying down the clear blue. Okay, so that's the goal here. So I know I have to lay it down over black, and I want to do it over gloss black. Now Alclad does make their own base coat. They got a gloss black base that they make, and I could have just done that, but I had already done the Mr. Surfacer 1500 black on here already, so I figured I'll just put a clear coat over that and turn it into gloss, and there you go. So I used my, just out of the spray can, Tamiya's TS13 clear. I just used that. I think that's plenty good enough to use on there, but here's the challenge. My room that I do all this stuff in is very dusty, and there's always some kind of lint floating in the air. And that was the big challenge, because I have also heard about this Alclad Chrome being very unforgiving when it comes to the surface underneath of it. It doesn't hide anything. If you've got little hairs, little specks of dust, any imperfections underneath what you spray this with, it's going to show it. And so that was my big challenge. Get this thing spray painted without any dust on it. Now I did okay on the sides. The sides are fine. And I did manage to, I had to sand down a couple of times on the trunk deck to get a couple of little specks of dust that came through. I actually still got one right there, right just underneath the windowsill. I can actually feel that right there. The hood, I had to strip this hood down to the bare plastic 3 times in order to finally get a coat of black and clear on this that didn't have any dust on it. I even went so far as to like grab this thing and take it outside the house and spray the clear on it to try, and it still wound up getting dust on it. Even outside, I tried turning on fans in my room. So you guys know I'm always hot in this room in the summertime, so I've got like 3 fans in here, and I've got an air conditioning unit. So I had fans blowing. I had the fan blowing from across the room. I had a fan trying to go from the floor blowing up. I had a fan behind it while I was spraying. Well, I tried all kinds of things, and I still wound up having to strip the paint 3 times on this. Anyway, so that's where I'm at right now. So I do want to spray this as one complete unit, and because that's the easiest way to get full coverage, equal coverage everywhere. So that's what I want to do. So I have my hood. I've got my little shaker hood scoop here. So I want to mask that, tape that to it. So let's get a piece of tape. This is going to go in from the underside. And let's get this lined up under here as best I can. Try and get that centered where it's going to be. That looks about right. Okay. So there's our shaker scoop mounted under there. So as you can tell, I've already taped off. I don't want to spray the chrome over the T-tops because then I'll just have to paint them black again. I already have them painted gloss just like the rest of the body, so I want to just leave it like that. So let's put some tape in here for the hood to stick to, so the hood doesn't accidentally blow off. Let's do that. And put another strip here. Okay, set the hood down. There we go. All right, so there we go. Okay, and she's looking like a car, isn't she? Almost looks done. If I was doing a Smokey and the Bandit kind of thing, that would be good enough. I could just polish the paint, polish the clear, and call it a day. But that's not what we're doing, are we? So, I'm going to get my little spinner thing. I actually want to set this up a little bit high so that the car is not just sitting straight down on my table. So the question is, what am I going to use? I can use this. Now, I want to make sure this is dusted off. I can eliminate the dust as much as I can. I want to. Okay. So I'm going to have this sit like this on top of this little box, and then this can rotate. That will allow me to get, when I'm spraying it, I can actually get down and get the angles underneath of it. Even better yet, if I could get that sitting up on something. What can I use to actually stick the car under to get that raised up? I can do that. That'll work. Little box. Just like that. Yeah, that'll allow me to get in there on all the angles and all over the place. Yeah. Okay. Now something I did see online as far as, I'm going to turn down this weird music a little bit here. Another thing I did see online, if you have the ability, you could use a spray bottle, squirt bottle with some water in it and kind of spray it in the air a little bit and over some different surfaces, and the dust will actually stick to the water as it lands. Pardon me, I think I'm going to have to blow my nose. So bear with me a moment. I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Alright, so with that being said, what was I saying? You can take a spray bottle and spray around your area, that kind of thing. So I'm going to try that. I do have an old Febreze bottle that happens to be filled with water, and it's been just sitting around doing nothing for a long time. So just got a Febreze bottle here. I don't want to spray my model with it, but I don't mind spraying other parts of my room. Of course, this is especially the table area where the model is going to sit. Let's try and not kick up any dust. So, there we go. That's done. Make sure this is all shaken up. I am going to be using my trigger style. This is the PS 290. What do they call it? The Pro Convoy by Mr. Hobby. This has a nice wide spray pattern. I have another airbrush that does have a 0.5 needle in it, but it doesn't have the wide spray pattern that this one does. So that's why I like that one. This one is great. It does a nice even coverage in a large area. And so that's what I like about that one. And so I'm going with that. What did I want here? Like this, we'll put some paint in the cup. I put lots in the cup. I don't want to run out halfway through. Now this stuff I have seen, you kind of spray it on in light coats and build it up. You don't want to go heavy. At least that's what I've seen, that's what I've heard. I have tried spraying this once before, only once, and yeah, so that's what we're going to go with. I will change the camera so you guys can watch me and see how good or how bad I do at this. And see if I wind up having to strip the whole body of paint. We'll see. Let's change over here and let's go. So here we are. There's our body. Let's see how we do. I actually want to change this to a different angle. Like that. I want a vertical pattern. Already see it's starting to get that metallic-y look. That looks good. Kind of going slow and letting it kind of sit and dry just in between. Give it a, 5 to 10 seconds or whatever. It is looking very shiny already. If I wanted a car that looks, if I was going for gunmetal color, that would be perfect and I could just leave it like that. But we're not going for gunmetal, are we? Now we're at a light gunmetal color. Give that a couple of seconds to settle down. And I've almost gone through the entire amount. I've almost gone through it all. We're almost empty now. So I actually think that might be, I'm going to fill this up again, because again, I don't want to run out halfway through. So I will do one more coat. One more full pass around the whole body. That is what I'm going to call done. It's very nice, bright, shiny silver. It does look good. I am happy with that. So, I am happy with that result. It does look good. Hopefully it looks good once it's dried. And it retains that nice silvery, shiny look. So I'm going to clean this up. Now, the unfortunate thing about having done that and finished up our little body here, the unfortunate thing about having done this, now I can look at it and I can see I've got a little speck of dust here, I got a little speck of dust there on the hood. Another one here, maybe a tiny little speck right there. One there. I got the one that I could feel before already right there. Let me change the camera and see if you guys can tell. Yeah, maybe if I get it in the right angle, you might be able to see. Now this thing is nice and shiny. It's definitely not chrome, right? But it is a very high silver color. So I got a couple little dust specks, one there, and one there. But I'm going to be putting that Firebird decal on here, so that's okay. That's not the end of the world, the fact that that's like that. So that's all right. With the big T-top, I don't have to worry about dust here and here because, well, it's going to be black. Going back to our trunk, we have this spot right there. I could already see that. That was already there in my clear coat, so yeah. And I got maybe one or two little spots here and here. But for the most part, oh, we got one on the door there, a little speck. Speaking of things on the doors, the mirrors. Now the kit comes with mirrors, but they do not have these mirrors fashioned in such a way that you can actually put them on the door in a normal way, which is why I'm not putting them on. I know it's not realistic, that's just the way it goes. The fact they have the mounting spot for the mirror right in the center of the bottom, like that. I don't know if I can even get in there and show you guys. Yeah, sorry. Here's our mirror. Whoops. Here's our mirror. And the mount for it is right there. And the way it has to sit on the door, if you were to have that mount actually sit there, you're going to have the angle like this does not match the door, so the mirrors are going to be sitting really weird. So I'm not going to be putting the mirrors on the car. They just did not mold them. It's like they just took a generic mold for the mirror for any other car and just put through them in here. Because the way the mount should be, it should be more to the side of the mirror. If the mirror is, let's use my phone as the example. Let's say this is the face of your mirror, okay? The mount where it goes should be at the bottom of the corner and going down on an angle like this for it to actually mount onto the side of the car. And then for the other side, it should be sticking out this side like this, doink, like that. That's the way the mirror should go, okay? What they've done is they've put the mount right in the middle, going straight down, just like this. And there's your mirror. And now try and make that work. It won't work. Okay, so I've got my silver laid down. The next step is to lay down my candy blue. But here's the trick. I need to let this dry for a day, which means I can't do anything more with this until tomorrow, at least. Now, I do have, I have my engine all installed on this. The next step really is to put this thing together. That is the next step, but I got to get this painted first. So that's where I just you got to play the waiting game. I have this painted now. I need to let it cure at least for 24 hours and let that harden up and cure and be all nice and happy and all that good stuff. And I can already see I didn't quite get a good enough coat on the underside here. It's not quite silvery enough. So I learned my lesson there. I'm going to get in there. I'm going to have to get in there with the blue a lot better tomorrow. I'll have to raise it up higher so I can actually get under or even pick up the body and do this kind of thing and spray it like this, and then set it down and I'm going to have to do that. Yeah, so that's where I'm going to have to leave it, and that's where I'm going to leave it here for today. Short video, I know, but that's kind of just the way it is when you're doing this kind of thing, and you just have to wait. And yeah, so that's really all I got to do is wait, and I guess that means so will you guys. Sorry about that. But yeah, so thanks for watching, thanks for coming out, and thank you for all the support and the new subscribers on YouTube. Thank you very much. You guys are awesome. And yes, I really appreciate it. It's really cool. Thank you guys so much. And I guess that's where I'm going to end it for today, and we'll see you all in the next one.